As a master of the time ways, Chromie gains talents and abilities one level ahead of other heroes. Her first basic ability is Sand Blast. With a wave of her hands, Chromie manifests a ball of sand and fires it as a long-range projectile that damages the first enemy hero.
我广告完了就是了，不要急啊。
Sand Blast only hits enemy heroes and will pass through anything else. Don't let Chromie's appearance fool you. Her W ability, Dragon's Breath, unleashes her true bronze dragon nature, letting loose a deadly barrage on a target area. Dragon's Breath does not provide enemies an effect indicator for the incoming damage, leaving them completely unaware of how it will impact.
今天公布的是克罗米2
Chromie's final basic ability creates a time trap. Once armed, any enemy hero that touches this inconspicuous hourglass is frozen in stasis for a short period. If you're looking to control the flow of battle,
其实我是青铜龙的后裔，知道吗？我是青铜龙王的后裔，曾经的我也是跟青铜龙王混过的。我能控制时间和空间，但是我的控制之力还没有进入一个觉醒的状态。我需要时间去沉淀自己，才能进入一个觉醒的状态。
No matter how far they try to run, after a short delay, they always return to the location they were bound to.
什么时候觉醒我也不知道，就跟觉醒之力一样。当我觉醒的时候，都得死。
But pay extra attention when your team hits level 9. Her early heroic can grant your team an unexpected advantage. Sand Blast hits like a truck, but her wind-up animation provides a visual tell that it's coming. If you want to land hits, try casting outside the enemy's vision range. Fire from behind fort walls and within bushes to catch the enemy off guard. And don't forget to use choke points to secure takedowns. Since Dragon's Breath doesn't leave an area of effect indicator, it can be difficult for the enemy to predict where it's going to land. Use this to your advantage. Cast it in your enemy's range of vision and watch them scramble. And if you see an enemy impaired by a stun or slow, that's a perfect time to call down the Dragon's Fury. Time Trap has a multitude of uses, and creativity with your trap placement is key. Try catching ambushers hiding in bushes, or even preventing heroes from slinking away into the shadows. Use it to lock an enemy in stasis, buying Chromie some time to escape, or to set up an aggressive assault, unleashing all of her abilities in a devastating combo. Chromie's heroics offer two very different options. Slowing Sands provides strong area denial, encouraging enemies to avoid a location entirely.
大哥呀，这克罗米这什么时候的英雄了？你放广告能不能有点诚意啊？放点新的呀！这克罗米都是什么时候出的了？
Temporal Loop's strength lies in its ability to force a player back to a location. Facing a slippery opponent you want to separate from the group? Use Temporal Loop to give your team time to set up an ambush and eliminate them, or force them into a trap to take them out of the game for a few precious seconds. Despite Chromie's size, she's a force to be reckoned with, and her grand debut in the Nexus is just a matter of time.
斯图科夫 Sign coming now, yes, very good. 开始。
The UED Expeditionary Force intended to put an end to the conflict in the Pustule sector and ensure Earth's survival. Unfortunately for Vice Admiral Alexei Stukov, things didn't go according to plan. After being betrayed and killed, his corpse was reanimated and infested, and he was imprisoned and experimented on by his assassin, Samir Duran. Only through a chance alliance with Kerrigan was Stukov able to escape and exact his revenge. Now, his infestation continues to spread into the Nexus. Stukov is a calculating solo support whose infestation abilities capitalize on the movements of his team and the position of his enemy. Stukov is a master at spreading and manipulating viruses created by his abilities. His first ability, Healing Pathogen, boosts his allies with a heal over time effect and spreads automatically to unaffected allies nearby. Next is Weighted Pustule. This range missile pierces through enemy heroes, dealing damage and inflicting them with a slowing virus that increases over time and deals additional damage when it ends. By activating his trait, Bio Kill Switch, Stukov detonates all active viruses on the map, immediately ending their effects and healing his allies or hurting his enemies. Using Bio Kill Switch on Healing Pathogen ends its heal over time effect instantly and heals for a large amount. Detonating Weighted Pustule damages the enemy host and applies a heavy slowing effect. When activated, Stukov's lurking arm plunges into the ground and continually deals damage to enemies in his grasp. Heroes within the target area take additional damage and are silenced as long as they remain inside. Lurking arm is a channeled ability with upfront mana cost and lasts until cancelled or interrupted. Stukov's first heroic is Massive Shove. Upon casting, Stukov gains a significant amount of armor and launches his arm in the target direction, shoving away the first enemy he contacts. The shove lasts until his foe collides with unpathable terrain and takes damage, no matter how far a distance that may be. His second heroic is Flailing Swipe. As the name suggests, Stukov wildly swings his arm, dealing damage to enemies and knocking them away. He swipes 3 times consecutively, and with each one, the area affected grows larger than the last.
Greetings. I am more monster than man.
Stukov is a monstrous support that his allies love and his enemies fear. Lurking arm is terrifying to opponents. It appears without warning and shuts down their ability to fight. Foes foolish enough to rush towards Stukov will quickly discover his ability to knock them back, and that his melee is deadlier than they imagined. Make the most of your viruses. Use Weighted Pustule to cripple an enemy team during a team fight. Your Healing Pathogen gains value when your team sticks together and spreads its heal over time effect. Communicate with your allies and pick the right target as your patient zero. You'll be surprised at the distance your healing can spread. Popping Pustules is a quest talent that empowers Stukov's Bio Kill Switch trait. Detonate enough pustules and the damage and slow upon explosion become area effects. Detonate viruses when the enemy team is clumped up and watch its effectiveness multiply. Universal Carrier allows Healing Pathogen to spread back to Stukov from his allies. With solid positioning, he can pass his healing virus between his teammates and himself indefinitely. Finally, the Bio Explosion talent at level 20 allows Stukov to use his Bio Kill Switch trait to explode his lurking arm. This applies a Weighted Pustule and silences enemies for a couple seconds, providing ample time for your team to remove them from the board. Soon, Stukov's infestation will spread onto the battlegrounds of the Nexus. Manipulate its unique nature to benefit your allies and bring your enemies' downfall.
That I enjoyed.
The Zerg has taken over our set here at the HGC. They've also taken over this new support coming to Heroes of the Storm. Vice Admiral Stukov is coming in, and I'm here with hero designer Nathan Lamushka. How are you, my friend?
I'm very good. How are you doing?
Dude, I'm glad to have you on the set. And, you know, before we start talking about Stukov, I gotta talk to you about your mentality about breaking a new hero. Obviously, you guys were tasked with making this support, and this support seems wonky.
Totally. Well, from the outset, the players have been demanding an evil support, right? A creepy sort of support. Stukov was the obvious fit for that, right? He's got that crazy looking arm. What we wanted to do is we wanted to make a viral sort of support, a virus-type character who spreads his healing naturally.
So creepy.
There's a lot of gameplay involved with being near your allies or casting it on a good patient zero and having them spread it out, where you're always looking at where your viruses are going and what they're doing. And I really wanted to hit on that fantasy as well.
So that's the Q and the W, that you're really trying to bring in that fantasy.
Yeah, totally. That viral fantasy of beneficial pathogens, right? Good pathogens that sort of heal you, but also kind of feel icky because they're in your body doing stuff at the same time. But there was a lot of fantasy to go out for Stukov. You know, there's a lot to just that admiral look that he has with the wild arm look at the same time, and the crazy stuff that comes out of his arm. Yeah,
Tell me about that arm. Actually, it's like pulsating the entire time. It's disgusting looking, but
it
awesome
has a mind of
fights.
its own, right? It's sort of a wag the dog scenario. You don't know if Stukov's thinking or really it's the arm that's thinking.
Yeah.
It can do all sorts of crazy things. You guys just saw, like you can shove people far away. You see the green part there, the healing comes out of like a boil on his back. The artist did a really great job of having that pop out of there and then spread to everybody all
that
around
is disgusting.
太他妈丑了，这个英雄。
The artist had to have a lot of fun actually putting that together. Were you guys collaborating for a few months trying to get this entire kit together?
We were. So from the outset, no one really knew what he was going to be about, right? Stukov by himself is just a guy with a super cool arm.
Sure.
So we thought, like, okay, how can we get this cool arm to do things that are also supporty-like? So the boil that comes out of his back, the healing pathogen, that sort of takes care of itself, and then it's like